Good evening. This is STV News. The election of the governor of Tochigi Prefecture was voted on the 15th due to the expiration of his term, and the independent incumbent Toshihiko Fukuda, 67, defeated the former NHK Utsunomiya Broadcasting Station Director Takao Tanobe, 16, to win 5 elections. The 5 selections are the first in the history of prefectural government. The turnout was 38.73%, which was higher than the previous time, 33.27%. Mr. Fukuda received recommendations from the prefectural organizations of both the Liberal Democratic Party and the Komeito Party and engaged in organized warfare. He appealed for the achievements of the 4th term in 16 years and strengthening the measures against the new coronavirus, the solutions of regional issues by advanced technology, and gained support. In Kashiwazaki City and Kariwa Village, Niigata Prefecture, where the TEPCO Kashiwazaki nuclear power plant is located, the mayoral election and the village mayor election were voted upon the expiration of the term of office. Masahiro Sakurai, who is independent and incumbent, re-elected the mayor, and Hiro Shinada, who is independent and incumbent, played 6th election. Mr. Sakurai and Mr. Shinada have expressed their intention to allow the restart, and the decision of the Governor Hideo Hanazumi will continue to be the focus. Regarding the Kashiwazaki Kariwa nuclear power plant, the examination by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, which is necessary for the restart of Unit 7, which TEPCO is aiming for, was completed on October 30. The next hurdle is to obtain consent from the local governments of the Niigata Prefecture, Kashiwazaki City, and Kaziwa Village. But Governor Hanazumi says that he will not discuss until the verification work that the prefecture is independently proceeding is completed. In the path, the restarting is still opaque. The GDP preliminary figures for the July to September period of 2020, announced by the Cabinet Office on the 16th, are 5.0% higher than the previous quarter in the real terms, excluding the effect of price fluctuation. And the growth is it increased by 21.4% on an annualized basis if it continued for a year. Private consumption and exports have increased, and the growth rate is the highest ever since 1980, when it is comparable. However, GDP has not returned to the level before the spread of the new coronavirus infection, and the resilience of the Japanese economy is weak. Many local governments have announced that they will accept secondment of employees of major airlines, which are difficult to manage due to the effects of the new coronavirus. Saga Prefecture will welcome 10 people from ANA Group by the end of the year. Ishikawa, Mie, and Tottori prefectures are also planning to accept secondment. Kagoshima Prefecture, which was consulted by Japan Airlines, is also considering whether or not to accept it. ANA Holdings and JAL are moving employees out of the group, and similar movements are likely to spread. Saga Prefecture accept employees under the age of 40. The prefecture will bear part of the labor cost and will include 10.75 million yen in the November supplementary budget. The period is 2 years. The prefecture and the ANA Group have been engaged in personnel exchanges for some time, and the prefecture is currently welcoming 1 flight attendant. The acceptance of the secondment was decided at the meeting between Governor Yoshinori Yamaguchi and President Shinya Katanozaka. As of 10 a.m. on the 16th, the number of people infected with the new coronavirus confirmed in Japan was 119,411, including cruise ship passengers, an increase of 11,151 from the previous week. The death toll has increased by 71, bringing the total to 1,908. In Japan, 1,440 people were infected on the 15th, and the number of infected people per day exceeded 1,400 for 5 consecutive days. The highest number of infected people is 34,751, In Tokyo, up to 2,141 from the previous week. This was followed by Osaka with 15,421, Kanagawa with 10,155, and Daiichi with 7,713. The number of people in Hokkaido, where the infection continues to spread, to 5,494, an increase of 1,473. In November, the Osaka monorail began operating a wrapping vehicle with a message of gratitude and support for medical professionals. The design is based on blue, and Hirofumi Yoshimura, the governor of Osaka Prefecture, wrote "Thank you" on the side. The operation period is 1 year. They received a proposal from passengers in April, and from September, they are soliciting donations to cover vehicle decorations costs through crowdfunding. The target amount of 7 million yen was achieved in about 2 months. On the 16th, the 5 ruling and opposition parties, including Liberal Democratic Party, Komeito, and the Constitutional Democratic Party, jointly submitted to the House of Councilors a special bill on the Civil Code that stipulates the parent-child relationship of children born by donating egg for fertility treatment. When an egg is donated by a third party, the woman who gave birth instead of the donor is defined as the mother. A husband who agrees to donate sperm from the third party stipulates that the child born by his wife cannot be denied. The current law does not assume delivery by assisted reproductive technology, such as artificial insemination or in vitro fertilization. The special bill aims to establish the legal status of the child born by donating sperm and eggs. The Democratic Party for the People and the Nippon Ishin no Kai have joined the joint submission, and the Social Democratic Party has also agreed, so it is expected to be approved in the current Diet session. The spacecraft Crew Dragon, on which Seiichi Noguchi, 55, is on board, was developed by SpaceX, which is led by American businessman Elon Musk, 49, while the Space Shuttle Soyuz, the Russian spacecraft that was boarded in the past 2 flights, was designed in the 1960s and 1970s. It incorporates abundant 21st century technology, such as touch panels being placed everywhere. On the other hand, the launch vehicle Falcon 9, developed by the company, uses an engine with the same configurations as the rocket used in the Apollo program. In addition to improving reliability with proven technology, we will use 9 engines of the same type in the first stage, and the same engine in the second stage, and be aware of cost reduction by mass production. In Samukawa Town, Kanagawa Prefecture, the sunflowers that bloom around the time of winter are in full bloom. According to the town's Tourist Association, it is about 2 weeks earlier than usual due to the high temperature in October this year. In addition to the private fields, the cultivation area was expanded to public land that can be seen from the train window of the JR Sagami line. And at the town park, the lights will be lit up at night from the 13th to the 3rd. The test lighting was done recently. In the private field, where about 80,000 flowers have bloomed, the flowers will be open to the public for 9 days from the end of October. Approximately 4,000 people visited while admission was restricted to prevent infection with the new coronavirus. Currently, you can't enter the fields, but you can see the flowers. The government has compiled a guide for preparing a manual for measures against the new coronavirus for the local government, host town, that will accept athletes from each country at the Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics next summer. Regarding the interaction between athletes and residents, it was stipulates that more recommendations should be made after the competition. The government is requesting local governments in host town and pre-camping areas to prepare infection control manuals. On the 12th, the new coronavirus infectious disease control coordination meeting by the government, Tokyo Metropolitan Government, And the Games Organizing Committee decided on a guideline for preparation and notified to relevant local governments. The latest world ranking of women's tennis was announced on the 16th, and Naomi Osaka was in 3rd place, unchanged from the previous week. Hibino Nao fell 1 place to 72nd place, and Misaki Doi remained at 82nd place. First place is Ashley Barty of Australia. The Table Tennis Men's World Cup was held in Weihai, China on the 15th, and Tomokazu Harimoto was 3rd. He lost to Mario 3-4 in the semi-finals. He dropped from 3-1 lead for 3 games in a row. In the 3rd place deciding match, he beat Zhang Wujin 4-3. And that's all for today. See you tomorrow for another news update.